guys, welcome back to Making Food Monday. Today we went for a super long bike ride. We had a great time, but it occurred to me that it was way too late to make dinner. So we stopped on the road, we got something to eat, and now Making Food Monday has got to be a dessert. Today we're gonna make brownies from scratch. For today's recipe, you guys, we're gonna need some semi-sweet chocolate chips, salt, flour, baking powder, sugar, cocoa powder, butter, preferably room temperature, 2 eggs, and some vanilla extract. And that is all that's going in our recipe today, guys. I have never attempted to make brownies from scratch, and I really don't even know why. I just always buy the box and dump in the things that you need and pop it in the oven, and I love brownies. So I'm super excited to see what happens if this actually turns out the way I expect them to. From scratch, they should be so much better. So if this is easy and fast, I'll be making brownies all the time. Maybe I'm hoping they won't turn out good. Anyway, let's get started. First thing we're gonna do, guys, is add all of our dry ingredients to a mixing bowl. We're gonna start out with 3/4 of a cup of flour. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. To that, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. Up next, we're gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're just gonna whisk that together to combine them. Okay, now in a separate bowl, we're gonna add our wet ingredients. We're gonna start out with 1/2 cup of room temperature butter. 1/2 cup. Now I'm just gonna soften that a little bit more by mixing it around a little bit, just to kind of get it started. To that, we're gonna add a cup of sugar. I have slightly less than a cup of sugar available to me. My sugar is gone, so I'm gonna have to go with that. I have slightly less than a cup of sugar, but it should still be okay, just maybe not as sweet. Now we're just gonna mix those two together. Next, we need to add our 2 eggs. There's 1. And there's 2. And then we'll mix to combine that as well. The last thing we're gonna add is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then we'll mix that one more time just to combine. Now we're gonna gently add our dry ingredients into our wet ingredients and combine those as well. I guess now I know why they said gently. You don't want that to happen, so go ahead and gently mix those together. I learned my lesson, guys. I don't want it to explode in a big powdery poof. Guys, we're gonna fold in 1 cup of chocolate chips. Both of my small pans here. So I'll just lightly coat them with some non-stick cooking spray. Even though they're already non-stick, I don't want to take any chances. And next I'm going to cover both of my pans with some aluminum foil. And that is going to help keep the moisture out of our brownies. Next up, I'm going to add my homemade mini trivet to the bottom of my pot. I'm going to add 1 cup of water to the bottom of the pot. Stick that guy back in the middle. Then I'm gonna put my bottom pot on top of this nice foil sling that I made. I'm gonna add my trivet that came with my pot to the top of that pot. I'm gonna set my other pot right on top of the trivet. Then I can pick up my sling and I can put both of these brownies into my pressure cooker at the same time, and I won't burn myself getting them back out. And then I just set those right inside on top of my mini trivet that I've made, and then we're ready to seal up our pot. Now, because I need high pressure for this, we're gonna go into our chicken function. We're gonna take that time cook up. This is baking, so it takes a lot longer than most things to cook. It's gonna be 50 minutes. And we'll hit start. Okay, my time has expired. It has been 10 minutes since, and now it's time to let my pressure out. Not much left in there. All done. Now let's open her up. Just gonna lift my brownies out of there. Set them on my towel here so that they're not too hot for my countertop. And then we'll open it up and see who's inside. That's it. That's hot. Okay.
That looks delicious.
Brownies. Now I'm just gonna let these cool for a few minutes so that we serve them warm but not hot. And then I'll get them served up, we'll put a little ice cream on top, and we'll be ready to go. Okay, it's ready, and I've got it plated. Now all we need to do it.
Guinea pigs! I'm enough. Guinea pigs. Wait!
Fishy guinea pigs. Oh look, Dad, you're a giant fish. Do you like brownies, Daddy Fish? Oh, good. Oh, thinks it smells awesome.
Me. Smells good. I can't wait!
Okay, it's gonna be Mia's turn to go first.
Why? That's good. Is it really good? I think it really needs the ice cream.
You like the ice cream? Is it yummy? So how many thumbs are you gonna give that? Nice. Thanks, Mia. It's gonna be Jackson's turn.
Yay! I don't have ice cream.
You don't have no ice cream. I'm sorry. You wanna just taste the brownie?
Yeah. Fine. I'll make him give it this many.
Thanks, baby.
See, baby say it doesn't.
Thanks, man. Jordan, it's your turn. You have it on your nose.
Ice cream's good. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna taste it.
Okay, let's see. What do you think?
Big bite.
Ow.
It's good.
Yeah? Thanks. Dad, you're up.
A little dry. Like Mia says, it just needs the ice cream, but flavor-wise, very chocolatey, very cocoa. It's good. I like it. It's just a little dry, but other than that, it's good. I'll give it 2.5 thumbs up.
Thanks, Dad. Okay, guys, my final thoughts. I don't think necessarily there was anything wrong with the recipe that made it dry. I think maybe I'm just no good at baking. I don't really bake on any kind of normal occasion, and I've just had really bad luck with everything I've tried to make. All of my desserts in my pressure cooker have just not been spot on, and I think maybe that's because I'm just not a baker. These were really flavorful. They tasted really, really good. I mixed mine together with my ice cream because that kind of took care of that dryness problem. I would suggest perhaps not leaving your brownies in for those extra 10 minutes like the recipe said. Maybe that's just something that happened. I don't know what I could have possibly done. I followed the directions. I don't know. I just maybe will next time not leave it in those extra 10 minutes because it was a little dry. But it tasted really good. They were sweet. They were very chocolatey. They were yummy. I don't know. I'll make them again because they were yummy, but hopefully I'll figure out what I did wrong next time. I don't know. I'm gonna give this one thumb up because I think I did something wrong, but they still tasted really good. So they don't get 2 thumbs, but I'll definitely try again.
I loved them. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I give it a lot of thumbs.
Yeah, you gave it a lot of thumbs. And you gave it a lot of thumbs. And you gave it...
I changed my thumbs.
Yeah? So after you started eating it, the taste really started taking over, and it didn't matter that it was super dry. I think that might have been user error. That might have been something that I did wrong. I don't know. But they tasted really good, right?
Yep. Yes, they did.
Yeah, so do you think it was a successful recipe, or do you think maybe it could use some work?
Maybe it could use a little work, like maybe
not so dry.
Add a little more sugar.
More sugar, because I didn't have quite enough, and make it not so dry.
Make it not so dry. Yeah, I think maybe.
I think those two things will definitely make this a better recipe.
And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to make this channel strong, share it with your friends. Good night, YouTube. See you tomorrow. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now. That's it. Poop. You're a brownie with no ice cream on it.